Greetings, YouTube! It's your favorite DM Fishsuit here with yet another episode of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Listen, we're a little late starting tonight. We're live streaming this on my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/fishsuit. The link is in the description below. Follow on YouTube. No, subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Twitch. Without further ado, let's hop in and get started because I'm excited to play. Alrighty. You guys want to play some D&D?
Sure.
No? Alright, see you guys later. Alright, well, listen, we had, there was some intensity in the last session that we had here. It ended pretty intensely. And this is gonna, that's not how it ended for. This session is gonna begin pretty intensely. Now, I will say that I started to write this, and I ended up writing for way more than I intended to. So this is like way longer than I originally intended, but I was having a lot of fun. So, so we fade in from black. Let me turn this music. Turn it down a little bit. There we go. We fade in from black and we see that we are in a whiteout blizzard. Snow's coming down ceaselessly on the open tundra. In the distance we can see a torch flickering. It seems to be moving closer, and as it comes clearer into focus, we see it's attached to the front of a cart, being drawn by two enormous birds, known as axe beaks. The birds look dispassionately onward as they pull their simple leather harnesses, and the cart, now even more clear to us, lurches forward. This is the first time we hear it. Thunk! An object striking wood. Behind the axe beaks we see two men. One holds the reins to the birds. His dark eyes peek from just below a fur-lined cap, and he has a thick, red beard. His breath hangs in front of him in the cold. May have to stop for a bit if the ten trail gets much worse. Them birds are hardy, but they're not immune to this weather. Thunk! We zoom in on the second figure, sitting on the bench next to the driver, his hood pulled high over his face. In the darkness, he looks like the Grim Reaper. Can't make out any facial features at all. Bryn Shander, the hooded figure hisses, unmoving, staring forward. The driver looks around, laughs nervously. Aye, of course. Always keep my word, I do, and you and your friend will make it to Bryn Shander, don't you worry about that. He turns his palms upward toward the sky. We don't be stopping, we just get buried here for the night, he says, his voice slightly wavering. There are several moments of silence as the driver waits for a reply. Thunk. Let's be honest, the driver starts up again. Ain't nothing worth dying for in Bryn Shander, right? You fellas don't seem like you're much into, scrimshaw or fishing. He lets the rest of the sentence hang there, hoping the hooded figure will jump in. A few more moments pass. What is your business in Bryn Shander, friend? The silence is overwhelming. We get a wide shot of the horse-drawn cart being pulled through the heavy snow. Only the single light of the dying torch. Thunk! Oh, okay, listen, we'll make a quick camp. We'll get these birds rested and hopefully the snow lets up. And we're ready, and we're off to Bryn Shander before you know it. The driver begins to slow the rocks, looking to the sides of the 10 road fruitlessly for any place that might be out of the wind. Bryn Shander. The hooded figure's voice cracks through the wind. Thunk. Now listen here, I'm gonna get you there, and that purse you gave me was brimming with coin, but I'm not losing my life over a little gold, the driver says forcefully, summoning some courage from deep down. This is my cart, my birds, and we're making camp. The hooded figure turns to the driver and makes a barely imperceivable hand motion. Under the hood, we can see the eyes now, glowing dark green. The driver gasps, but it's already too late. He begins to clutch at his throat, but he can't make a sound. Dunk! He coughs and vomits a mouthful of wasps and maggots. Something Jordy might know a little something about. He looks at the hooded figure, eyes wide with shock, bloody tears streaking down his face as he finally slumps forward, and all manner of insects begin bursting from his ears, nose, eyes, and mouth. Dunk! The hooded figure pushes the driver to the snowy ground and takes up the reins. He pushes the axe beaks onward, eyes now fading black into the blackness of his cowl. The camera pans back to the interior of the cart. A pretty fancy, fully covered wagon. Another figure sits inside. His black hair shines with oil against the dim light from the torch's dancing flame. A human. His gloved hand reaches forward to the wall of the interior of the cabin, where he pries a small, wickedly sharp dagger free. He smiles an evil smile, staring forward. The camera pans over to the interior wall of the wagon. Nailed to the wall is a piece of parchment, with several tears and rips where the dagger has found its mark. On the parchment is a crude but unmistakable artist's rendering of Cleo. Dunk! Welcome to D&D night, you guys. Everybody just leveled up, right? Everybody's in a great mood?
Ding!
Yeah, I'm actually feel better now. I did have resistance to piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage for a little bit, but it's gone now.
Let's talk about your characters at level 3. Characters start to open up in D&D at level 3, and you get some really fun stuff. Yeah. Let's talk about Gusto. Let's talk about level 3 Gusto. Vlor, what do you got? What's new? What's fun? What are you looking forward to?
There's not a lot, but there are some things that open up. I do get level 2 spells now. And I get, because of my domain, I get Gust of Wind and Shatter as permanently known spells.
Okay.
Which are pretty cool. Not having to waste any of my prepared spells on those is kind of nice. Shatter can be quite useful.
Gust of Wind.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had a cleric use Shatter against me pretty judiciously before. Well, Shatter can be pretty tough.
Yeah.
Cool. And do you take any kind of do you start like a path or anything at level 4 as a cleric, or?
No, with the clerics you choose your domain at the very beginning.
Okay. Well, cool. Let's talk about Geordie, level 3 Geordie, Jackson. I know you went back and forth as to, because barbarians do start to kind of branch out at level 3. So what does Geordie look like now?
Yes. Now he gets what is similar to like a little paladin smite, but it's not as powerful. And it doesn't need a spell slot. So like on the first attack and every turn, he gets a I think it's 1d6 plus half his player level, his barbarian level, rounded down, radiant damage on the first attack.
Oh wow, okay. And what kind of barbarian is he now?
It's called zealot.
Okay.
But I don't. The way it's described, I don't think it's as pictured as like a zealot, as like a super religious like fanatic. I think it's more so just like a barbarian, like a blessed barbarian.
Okay.
Is how I see it more so.
Yeah, and you can play it whatever way you want.
Yeah, on 5e tools, it described it more like just like a blessed barbarian, almost like a barbarian paladin, except just hitting things. And he can be resurrected back to life, but not undeath, without any materials for the spell.
Wait, oh, okay. So, like, if somebody had an ability to resurrect him,
so if someone had Revivify, you don't need like that diamond dust or anything.
Oh,
it's kind of like the God
Nice.
intervening and like bringing them back to fight more.
That's pretty baller. I like that.
I get you, Jordan.
Cool. And Jordy actually, Jackson actually rolled fairly poorly on hit points, so it's not quite.
I rolled max the first time, and I rolled minimum this time.
Yeah, so it could have been like real disgusting, because if you had like 50 HP going in here, like, I don't know, man. We'd have to call it a day on Jordy.
I got equalized.
Speaking of which, if you guys are in there, you should be able to reset your max HP now. Let me know if it's not working.
In the Negamir sheet? Or
Yeah, wherever. I mean, you should be able to send it up to full now. Your actual full.
Is everything else updated? Or like, how do I... Oh, I thought I did change it and then it changed it back. Oh, I forgot to save probably. That's...
Same. That's exactly what I did as well.
Okay, Jax, thank you, dude. Zune, you and I went back and forth a lot this week to talk about Kindar's level up, and I was pretty excited. I hope you were too. What is new for Kindar this level?
Yeah, so actually one thing I just realized he gets is, since he is a tiefling, he gets to cast the Hellish Rebuke spell as a second level spell, once with this trait, and regain the ability so when he finishes the cast. Now that's something that literally I just realized, and I do actually have a quick question about that.
Okay.
Does that mean it has to be cast as a second level spell, and does it use a spell slot?
I don't think it uses a spell slot because it's a racial ability. So that racial ability is itself like a spell slot. So it's like you can do it once per long rest, right?
Yeah. That's what it says.
And so when you cast it automatically as a second level spell, but it's essentially like one free spell that you get.
Right. So since it doesn't use a spell slot, there'd be no reason to use it at level 1.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't use a spell slot. It's just a one and done, one per day. You can cast the Hellish Rebuke as a tiefling.
Cool. Well, yeah. So that's one thing.
Cool.
There isn't too much itself within like the class that gets anything other than getting the second level spell that is unlocked in the second level spell slot, and then getting an extra mentality point, which is actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, once we get into our first combat and you use your mentality point, I'll ask you to say a little bit more about that, because you haven't really dove too deep into your mentality points yet. But now with level 3, I feel like that's gonna start. We're gonna start seeing some pretty neat stuff with Kindar's spellcasting.
Yeah, and so especially being able to cast at the second level spell, like that's pretty big for Kindar. I think that's when a lot of his abilities, like level 1 abilities, actually unlock their full potential.
I completely agree. Yeah, just from you and I talking this week, I was like, damn, Kindar's going to be able to do some like meaty stuff here using his mentality points and AoE and stuff. It's going to be interesting once you guys get into a combat. And you got like pretty good HP on your roll too. So you bring Kindar up from like immediate death to just like partial death.
Yeah.
All right, and Cleo Goes to College. Unfortunately, our animation budget ran out this week, so we couldn't do Cleo Goes to College as a special bonus episode. But tell us about a level 3 Cleo, Sunflower.
I'm excited. I mean, obviously she goes to college. Can I talk about the college she chose?
Of course.
I chose college. She chose, not I. She chose College of Glamour.
Did she apply to a lot? Was that her first choice, and she had to decide which one of all the colleges that she got into? Or
yeah, she was between that and College of Eloquence, but in the end, I think she liked what College of Glamour had to offer for her.
Sure.
In the end, so she went with that, and I'm really excited for what it offers. Having like I think it's called the Mantle of Inspiration, where I can basically, as a bonus action, grant a wondrous appearance, but basically any creature I see within 60 feet of me up to my charisma modifier gains 5 temporary hit points.
Whew.
And then when the creatures gain these temporary hit points, it can immediately use its reaction to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks. And that only increases as you gain higher in levels, so I'm really excited about that.
Wow. Bards, that's really interesting. We'll talk more about that the first time that happens, too, because I'll be like, excuse me, what did you just do? And I'll be like, well, I'll take an attack of opportunity. And you're like, not so fast, fish. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
Awesome. Level 3, I'm excited. I feel like we've been level 2 for quite some time, so I'm sure you guys were pretty pumped to get a level. I've been looking forward to it. We do have to start over again because Boom Byron and Wookiee just showed up. So, all right, the camera. So we see a white blizzard. A snow is coming ceaselessly on the open tundra.
Don't make me go through that again.
And the cool thing about that little flashback too is that Cleo knows, like Sunflower knows a lot more about what's happening in that than how the rest of you guys do. But the rest of you guys know that there's some bad shit.
I'm scared.
Some bad shit. Yeah, you just have to watch it on YouTube if you missed the beginning. All right, when we last left you guys, you had just gotten back from the Frost Giant Lodge. You had Gusto had made a deal with the townspeople of Dougan's Hole to go get all of the whale oil out of there. He was going to split some of the profits with them. They said, no problem, we'll get it up to your storage facility in Goodmead. And you guys were basically spending your last night here in Dougan's Hole when Kindar was just laying in bed and he could not fall asleep, and his mind was going over and over and over these 20 stones of Thrune. And so he made his way out there in the darkness of night. I guess it's always dark, but it's like super dark at night. And he made his way out there, and it was windy and cold, and the clouds had covered the sky. And as he approached the center stone of the 20 stones of Thrune, he heard what sounded like voices. And he heard very clearly two things. So close now, something he heard whispered over the wind. And he also heard his own name. And when his name, Kindar heard his name as if somebody was speaking it to him right there, like into his ear. Like that's how clear it was. And as that happened, you're not sure if it was a crack of lightning or just energy just burst through this center stone of the 20 stones of Thrune, and the stone shattered to the ground in front of you. And then as that happened, the night sky basically opened up to, a zillion stars. Like the clouds parted, the winds died down, and it was as if the magic had left. So we can pick up right there. Kindar standing there going, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, so I got to imagine Kindar is probably like, first of all, just kind of like looking around, like what, like kind of like, what, kind of like looking around for like these voices that were speaking to him. Maybe even looking like see if there's anyone who's like watching or like around the corner. So I guess that would be the first thing that he's trying to see is there anyone who's around there in the immediate like vicinity.
Sure, you can give me a perception check real quick just to see. It's more of a flavor perception check than anything else.
Yeah.
Scan the area and
14. Sorry.
14. Sorry, no, I read it too. I'm at fault. But good looking out. Yeah, you scan around and you're kind of, this is sort of on it's like a small hill, and so you're able to see quite a bit of Dougan's Hole from your vantage point here. And now that the night is even clearer, you can see over the town, and it's just chimney smoke and the wind blown snow. That's about it.
Yeah, and then Kindar would probably take out he might have already, I don't remember if he'd already taken it out. But he would probably like have a stone in his hand and be looking at it, seeing, is it like what's doing?
Yeah, I think you had it in your hand, like as you approached the 20 stones, and it was like again glowing with that like dark blue luminescence. But now it's completely silent, and you definitely got the feeling that there was some magic that was almost like channeling through this area that's now gone. Like you've felt the absence of it as soon as it happened, as soon as the stone broke and the voice, and that clear voice saying your name.
Yeah, and then he'd probably go up to the like where the actual shrine was and like look at like where the stone was. Like, is there any sign of it did it sink into the ground, or did it explode? Did it vanish?
Yeah, so you walk up to like this central stone, and it's like rubble now, and it looks like there's like singe marks on it. It's still almost like crackling with like a static electricity as you get closer. You can your hair starts to stand on end a little bit as you get closer to it.
Yeah, I think Kindar would actually then want to go talk to Vlor.
Go talk to Vlor?
Yes.
So you know where Vlora's staying. I think, are you staying at the speaker's house, Vlora, did we decide? And then I think that Kindar was in the longhouse, and maybe Jordy was there too.
Oh, I don't know if we decided on
Wherever Sunflower, wherever Cleo is, she's like sleeping on probably the most comfortable feather bed in all of Dougan Soul. I can guarantee you that's happening somehow. But yeah, you guys would have worked out you make your way to. I would imagine. I think that Gusto would be staying at the speaker's house, staying in one of the rooms at the speaker's house. And probably Jordy would be there too, honestly, because Jordy got in pretty good with Edgra. They got along pretty well. So you fairly easily find Vlora's room and knock on the door.
So I knock.
Like, how late is it?
It's late. You might have been sleeping for a couple of hours by now.
Probably waking up every so often, scratching. Yeah, who is it?
It's me, Kindar.
All right, come on in.
Floor's just totally nude on the bed.
Yeah, just scratching.
Put up my robe and wizard hat. Yeah, Kindar would kind of look over at him and, sorry, I know it's late. But something just happened, and I think you're the one to talk to about this. So when we had gone to visit that shrine at the top of the hill with the stones of Thrun, I also have this stone. So I take out the stone and I'm gonna show it to Vlor for the first time.
So it's the first time you've seen this stone, Vlor. It's a smooth carved stone, and it's carved in the shape of an owl bear.
Okay. I'll hold out my hand. Can I take a look?
Yeah, just give it back to me.
Okay. I'll kind of run my hand along, all of the edges and really take a look. Would I have spell slots from resting or no?
Did you have spell slots when you went to bed?
Oh, I don't remember. We did the long rest before we.
I'll give a spell slot to you. Are you detecting magic?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess I could ritually cast it, but that'd take 10 minutes.
You're like, hang on, wait 10 minutes.
I guess I would spend that time just like looking over it and like close my eyes while I run my hands along the edges and just try and get a feel for this stone and its essence.
Yeah, so you cast detect magic, and there is magic in this item. I'm not even sure if Kindar knows that there's magic in this item, frankly. He uses it as sort of like a spell focus.
Okay.
But you actually sense that there is a very, what am I trying to say? Almost an imperceivable, it's imbued with an imperceivable amount of divination magic.
That's odd. So this has divination magic in it.
Divination.
What is it?
Well, you see, when I was found with this stone, and I don't know where it came from, but it's always glown this shade of blue, and I've kept it on me basically my whole life, because every time I've been too far away from it, I've grown uneasy. It caused me to get anxious, and so I keep it on me. And sometimes I lose controls of my powers and some of my magic when I get too far away from it. So I've kept it as close as I can to me, and usually keep it a secret. But this is what brought me to to 10 towns because it's made out of the same ivory that they harvest out of the fish here. And I've searched the entire world, and nowhere else has this type of ivory. So I know that something here is drawing me here, and I trust you with this information because I think if you want me to be involved with your endeavors and trying to establish business here, I still have to figure out this end for myself first, and what is it that connects me to 10 towns. And so I wanted to let you know about that. You saved my life, and who knows how much longer I have to be able to figure this out.
It's odd because the divination magic is usually for learning secrets and interpreting things. That's weird. Maybe there's some secrets that you need to find.
That's what I'm hoping to find. I've never met anyone in my family before.
I can't say that I've ever seen anything like this, though. Sorry, I can't be of more help.
That's still more help than a lot of clerics and people have been able to discover in all of my travels. So I at least thank you for that.
If it helps, the magic that I'm using to see the essence of this is also divination magic. So, I mean, maybe it's something similar. Maybe some of your abilities are linked to this, and I don't know. Maybe you'll find more with a little bit more searching.
I hope so. Well, thank
Who's
you
just
for,
scratching everywhere. He's just like telling you this very serious thing, and he's like itching his entire body.
Goddamn, please.
This fucking sucks.
Here, take this back. Just try not to get any closer to me. They're gonna have to burn these sheets.
Kindar will use his psychokinesis to grab the
squirts it
stone
with a little Purell.
Yeah.
Wipes it down with a Clorox disinfecting wipe.
Blows on it a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, cool. I like that little bit of character development. Vlor and Zune, why don't you guys both take an inspiration for that little role play there? I enjoyed that.
Oh, nice.
Okay, anything else you guys would like to... So everybody gets their long rest, spell slots back. Vlor, I think at this last time you were casting Lesser Restoration on yourself.
Yeah, to see if it'll help with the fleas.
Yeah, and it does. You successfully get rid of the fleas. You cast it, and I imagine it going up your body like a futuristic full body scan, like, you know what I mean, like a ring from the head down. And as it goes, you can see the fleas just like burning off of you. And yes, you successfully de-flea yourself.
I guess before I leave the house, I would definitely tell them that they're going to want to burn those sheets. Don't touch it unless you're using a 10-foot pole.
And then you look around and look at the audience that you're speaking to, and you realize that there's a really good chance that half of this town already has some sort of parasitic insect on their person.
Well, they said it was disgusting that I had fleas.
That's right. Acro was like, that's nasty.
These other parasites are all right, but those fleas is nasty.
Oh, that's good. Okay, anything else here in Dougan's Hole before we head up to Good Mead? Well, I'm assuming you're going to Good Mead.
Jordy would like to pay respects to however they buried or treated the dead that were killed at the Giants' Lodge.
Well, nobody actually died. Well, I see. The one guy died, right? Did the mammoth get one or two?
Mammoth got one,
two.
Wolf got one.
Right, but Wolf got one and ran away with him.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have that body, really. There might have been one body that the mammoth killed.
I could have swore we had someone brought back with us.
There was like lots of people who were injured in the fight with the wolves, and one guy was like missing and presumed dead. But
We had the Chewinga.
that's right, and that's right, the dead Chewinga. Who had a little? We had a little ceremony for the Chewinga. Sunflower. That when you were like, "Oh God, what happens at the like when you buried it?" Because you're thinking like the Chewinga's hand reaches up from the ground, starts pulling Clyde down. That was really funny. I enjoyed that.
Well,
Zombie
that-
Chewinga.
since there aren't any bodies, he would try to ask Edgar if there's something they
One,
could do
one guy
just to
did
honor the
die.
dead.
One guy did die, so they would have had his body.
Okay. Then yeah,
Um,
he would just like try to pay respects to the people that were lost in the battle, because he feels like maybe there was some way he could have did better to prevent it.
Yeah, so you go to the like maybe the family's house and just let them know that maybe their father died honorably defending the town and etc. Like the town is going to be, you'll be able to trade again now that these wolves aren't going to be terrorizing you and stuff. I think that's, Jordy like cares about 10 Towns, right? Like he's a native of 10 Towns, so.
That's kind of his home, since he doesn't, since both in appearance and like personality, he doesn't really fit in with the other typical dwarves.
Right.
Just out of
It's more-
curiosity, does that mean that Jordy goes to half of the town's houses?
I'm sorry about your brother. I'm sorry about your brother, cousin.
He just goes to one, and they tell him that they're also related to this person. That just happens like 10 times.
I'll tell you something funny too, is that the boots that Kindar is wearing right now, they gave him to the lady, right? The lady gave you to, the lady with the kids gave Kindar them. Well, they were her husband's, but this is written into the adventure that her husband was also her brother. That's not something Fish Suit's making up for flavor. That's in the adventure text.
Wow.
So yeah, here I'll even read it to you. Oh no, I have the wrong one open. It's here.
No,
I'll even
that was a
read it.
fanfic.
That's my fanfic. Hilda married her older brother, who was a hunter. He passed away a few years ago, but left behind some magic boots. That's in the adventure text.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Wow. Well, I mean, I have nothing. I was just saying.
no. I want to hear where the rest of that sentence is going for. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I mean, I really don't have any other thoughts. It's just, well,
It seemed
I
like
mean,
you did have some other thoughts there. All right. Okay. All right. What would you guys like to do?
Oh, Kindar also wants to apologize to Edgar about the stone.
Yeah. So I imagine there's like.
Yeah, like
They're pretty freaked out by it, but also they seem to have no particular reverence to the 20 stones. It's not like they were going up there and worshiping or anything, and they really didn't know what it was all about. It was kind of like, yeah, these are our stones. She couldn't tell you hardly anything about them. And actually, you guys did a bunch of dice rolls, and you didn't really know anything about them either. So it seems like the lore of this place is lost somewhere. And so she just says, you explain to her what happened. You probably give her the Cliff Notes version of what happened. Maybe not mentioning the voices and things, but
in front of everyone.
I would think I would be taking her aside, kind of, to talk about this.
And do you give her the full details, Kindar, or do you just give her like what do you tell Edgar exactly
I'll just
about what happened?
I think it would be like something along the lines of like, yeah, I was I feel forces sometimes. I feel some things draw me to certain places, and something drew me over there. And when I went there, there was, the wind got very strong and everything. But and then all of a sudden the stone burst, and I don't know what happened.
Edgar's like, son, I know you got magics running through you like I ain't never seen before. You're a real powerful one. I know you didn't come here destroying our village and didn't destroy the 20 stones. Just go out there in the middle of the night and causing havoc. But I'm sure glad you're on our side, because I seen you on the battlefield. You fighting people with them mind bullets of yours, and well, just awful glad to know you, and you ain't got no enemies here in Dougan's Hole.
thank you, ma'am. And then I'd probably just ask her, like, will you just send word if you hear anything about that area, because something tells me that there's something going on there.
All right, we will. We'll find somebody in town who can read and write. And we'll send you up a letter or something.
Oh, gosh, maybe just send like a raven. That might be more efficient.
You get a letter on parchment. It's drawn in crayon. Dear Kindar.
Backwards letters.
Backwards K.
Yeah.
All right, I know. You guys are just trying to. You guys love Dougan's Hole so much. You're trying to squeeze every bit of ounce of fun out of Dougan's Hole as you can. But we took a long time getting here, so you do want to. I mean, it's not like you can't come back, but. And have you guys decided? Give me an idea of where everybody stands now, as far as like what you think you'd like to do next. So we'll start with Sunflower, because she's been watching a lot of role play and stuff happen in Dougan's Hole. What do you think? Let's talk about two ways. What do you think Cleo is thinking right now, and then what is Sunflower thinking is what you'd like to do in the game next?
Sunflower wants to like create a disguise for herself, dye her hair, and like and just not head towards Bryn Shander, hearing earlier
stay as
situation.
far away from Bryn Shander as possible.
Cleo,
who doesn't have any of the information about what we know.
I picture that she thinks she might have really just gotten away with it.
Yeah.
She's so far away at this point,
Yeah.
and she's just like, well, no one's coming to get me yet, but like I suspect she still has like her wits about her though. Like she like hears something that might like trigger something, she might like turn around and be like, what was that? Like,
yeah, her guard's not down for sure.
So I don't know, she probably just wants to go to the next town, but she does not want to give up Clyde even in the slightest. So she just like doesn't care where we go, she just doesn't want to give him.
Yeah, so like that's part of an open quest you guys have now, is to bring Clyde up there. And I kind of suspected that whoever got Clyde, the as of yet unnamed Chewinga, before he was named, whoever got him was really gonna really like him, and that was gonna be a point of difficulty to try to give Clyde up.
What town did he do we have to go to for that lady again?
To finish that quest? That would be let me check my notes. Bryn Shander.
Oh.
I've also got business there.
Flor has some business there. I don't know. All right. Thank you, Sunflower. That's super good. I think you're absolutely right. What is Jordy's thoughts now?
Jordy, since they're glad to go through good me anyway, talked to Olivesta about like squishing the beef between the two towns here.
Yeah, so this is something you guys had discussed. Basically, Gusto was like, Jordy's basically the town speaker, so once he's town speaker, we're gonna create diplomatic relations between Dougan's Hole and Good Me. Good Hole? Also, maybe they can just call it Good Hole. Good Hole.
Whole meat?
Dougan's meat? No, it doesn't work.
And make it clear that he doesn't actually want to be the speaker, and that Olivesta should be, because she runs the actual mead. And since they're going to set up like trade, it's probably best that she speaks for the town, because the town revolves around the mead.
Right, she's in charge of the mead making, so
he's going to like make it clear that he doesn't want to be, but he wants to help Olivesta be the speaker.
And what about Jackson, the player? What do you like? We have a lot of loose threads out there. What is let me ask you this. Let me ask you this way, Jackson. What is the most interesting loose thread that we have hanging out there right now? That
fucking Dwergar, that are fucking making probably an underground fortress up there, and the Sunblight.
Yeah,
like that's something that we literally just like we almost certain we will just got deleted.
Talk about literally scratching the surface. Like you guys barely scratched the surface of that particular thread. So I hear you. Where's Kindar at right now, Zune? What do you think? What is he? what does he want to do, and what do you think is the most interesting thing that's happening in our narrative right now?
Kindar, he's obviously like right now his brain's kind of thrown through a loop. He's like, what something's like, I've never been so close in a way. Like obviously when you hear a voice that says so close now, like that's gonna be a very good sign that you're close.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely feeling like, something, there's something in 10 Town, something's here. I don't know if it's Dougan's hole, so I think Kindar is a little bit like not really knowing what he wants to do. I think he's kind of like, for one of the first times in his life, he's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I was just gonna say, like, Kindar is always the guy who like has the answers and who the rest of the party turns to be like, what is that? Well, I've never heard of that. What is that thing? And Kindar's like, oh, I know what that is. I've traveled everywhere in the realm, basically. And he has. This is like a last stop for him. And yeah, this shit happens, and now he's like, this guy who always has all the answers is like, what the like, I don't know what's going on. Like, what is this? He's shaking,
Yeah, he definitely has a little bit of fear because like he wants to, like, I think one thing that like keeps going in his head is like, should he put his stone in the middle of those? But he doesn't want it to like disappear or explode, because if something like that happens to his stone, then
that would be devastating.
He'd lose control of everything, and it would not be fun for the party.
Yeah. And I'll ask you the same question I asked Jackson, which is, what do you think the most interesting thread that's hanging out there right now is?
I think just the overall like arching story of like the the weather and everything.
Yeah, you're just really interested to know about the Frostmaiden and what's causing this and how the pieces that you already know kind of fit into it.
Right, like we just saw this like throne that can cause weather changing things around it. So are like one thing is that could be a possibility is, are there a bunch of these thrones all across 10 towns?
That's really interesting.
Weather, Well, that response tells me that's probably not the case.
That's really interesting, the way that, and it's exactly how it was written in the adventure. No, that's cool. I like that. I like that outside the box stuff, because like the secrets that are out there are like real weird, like stuff that you wouldn't necessarily guess. Vlor, what do you imagine Gusto's going through right now? What would Gusto like to do? What's he thinking about? And then, what, as a player, what are you kind of most psyched about seeing?
Right now, I think Gusto is probably feeling pretty good, because his main goal was to become a merchant, a very well-off merchant, and feels like he's accomplished something here in Dougan's Hole. He was able to acquire some goods and help some people. A bit disheartened that they were being assaulted by the wolves, and the fact that in all the places that have needed help or that he's tried to do something, there's always been something wrong. And he lived in a small area, so he knew everybody, everything was fine, but to see people struggle like that, it really got to him. But being able to help and still being able to become a merchant is still, up there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can see the starts of him being able to establish these outposts and businesses that he had ideas about. I mean, Dougan's Hole was ripe for the picking, because you essentially ended an embargo that was happening, came in with some very valuable goods, and are now like, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I mean, you have people literally working for you. Stuff that's they're doing that's gonna make you a lot of money, and it's gonna keep them, in fuel and food as well. So that's definitely a way to like endear yourself to the people of 10 Towns.
Yeah,
you know definitely. What I mean? Like, they're working for you. You're gonna give them a solid amount of money and also make some money of your own.
Yeah.
And Vlor, what do you find the most interesting about this adventure so far? What are you excited to learn more about?
I don't know. There's so much going on.
There is so much going
on. The whole thing about everyone giving up things is just foreign to me, or foreign to Gusto. That's I think we're gonna see a lot of changes, and I'm excited. With Jordy's idea of maybe not giving up anything anymore. I'm excited to see how that's gonna turn out.
Yeah, to see if
Technically, that was Kindar's idea.
Well, Kindar's idea. I think that's going to be exciting of how that's going to turn out, because I feel like people get set in their ways and it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, especially when they think that what they're doing is like
the right thing.
Yeah, to save their town, like they have to do this. Cool. Well, thanks. I just always want to check in with you guys. It sounds like we're heading to Goodmead. Am I right?
Yep.
All right. Why don't you guys, for no particular reason, go ahead and give me like a marching order?
I think, as per usual, Jordy's probably up in the front.
And I'd probably be in the back.
Yeah, Kindar would probably be in front of Vlor.
And I would probably be in front of. I feel like I'd be like third. I'd be like stick towards the back, but
It's
not
two
be in
two
the
people
back.
in two
For
people in
second.
third right now.
I'll be
There we
second.
go. There we
I
go.
guess I'll be
Diamond
second.
formation.
I'm like-
Yeah.
She wouldn't be in second, but I guess she got pushed to second.
All right. So you're walking in the path. You're walking on the actual road between 10 towns, or between Dougan's Hole and Goodmead. And it's like kind of an especially dark day as you're walking. It's overcast. The mood, I think, in the party is fairly heavy right now. I think probably everybody's kind of lost in their own thought. Jordy, out in front, I'm going to give you one perception check here as you walk through some really familiar rocks and trees. Let me move you over there. You'll find why that's so funny here in a second.
This place always looks the same.
All right. All right, so you're walking through here, and everybody's just kind of, I don't know, minding their own business. And Jordy, you're so lost in thought that you come up around the corner of this, and actually, it's one of those things where you're both so surprised to like see each other, because you come around the corner of this rock, and you see like a huge creature. It seems to be digging underneath the rock, and you make a footfall with the snow with your foot, and the Yeti turns around. You instantly recognize it. Yetis are common across Icewind Dale. It sees you. You see it, and it just roars at you with its icy breath. Let's do a little combat, guys. Go ahead and roll for initiative.
At least it's not talking.
It's like, what's up?
Gotta put this thing down. It's clearly been around for too long.
All right. Let's give everybody... All right, listen, I'm such a nice GM. I'm going to let everybody have a turn. Everybody gets a turn this combat, all right? Jordy, let's talk initiative.
15.
I lost you there for a second, my dude.
Oh, yep. My Discord went poopy for a second. 15.
15. Cleo.
19.
Oh, Cleo. 19. Kindar.
11.
All right. What's your bonus to initiative? Your dexterity?
I'm pretty sure it's 0. Hold on, let me just double check, because I'm doing it from the actual app, and I think I fixed it all. Yeah, 0.
All right. And Gusto.
5.
A gentleman's 5. Okay, Cleo, you're up first. Jordy stumbled across this Yeti. You see it. What would you like to do?
Let's see, where am I at? All right, well, I'm gonna use my new, because I'm excited to use it. I'm gonna use my new spell that I have. It's a 2nd level spell, and it's actually a damage spell. So it's called Cloud of Daggers. So I'm gonna cast that.
First time we're seeing Cloud of Daggers.
So basically, you fill. Do you need me to read it, or do you know what it is?
No, go ahead and read it for just the benefit of everybody. Just first time we've seen you cast it in this campaign.
Cool. It's concentration up to 1 minute. You fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube 5 feet on each side, centered on a point you choose within range. A creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
So this is a bit like the druid flame sphere. So,
Yeah, that I would like as a spell that I honestly love. So
yeah, so we, as a tradition, every time somebody casts a spell like this, it's represented on the map. And let me just find something good for this. Okay. All right. So here is the daggers. It's a school bus. All right. So
I thought it was like a Twinkie.
where would you like to place the school bus?
It's a magic school bus.
Who is okay? Jordy's next. Jordy, you're probably gonna go up and like attack him, right? I'm gonna put it. I want it to be on him, like across him, so he starts his turn.
Is it a
there
5
and
foot
it hits
square?
him. It's 2. Hold on, let me just make sure. You fill the air 5 foot cube.
Okay.
But it says on each side.
5 foot cube.
So I could.
Side?
It sounds like I could split up.
Let me just look it up. Cloud of Daggers. Cloud of Daggers, fill the air with a 5 foot cube on spinning daggers in a 5 foot cube on each side, centered on a point you choose. 5 foot square on each side. How do you read that, Flora? I don't understand that.
Like a cube. It has a 5 foot cube. Like each, like say if you put it like there, like each cube touching that counts. But that seems a bit large.
And cube, no, it seems like it's a
But it is
cubic
second level.
cube, 5 feet on each side of the cube. So
What
it'd
was
be
the
like
name?
It'd be
It's just one cube.
3, 4.
It's
I
a
think
Cloud of
one
Daggers.
Yeah, that's. Why can't they just word spells
I
better?
know.
Just in Thunderwave. It's
We still
sucks
don't.
because-
We still don't truly understand how Thunderwave works.
Like 5 feet on each side of me, maybe, and I center it on a
No.
point I choose within range. I'm down for whatever meaning you.
Yeah. No,
choose.
I just want to make sure that we get it. I would like to get it right. I would like to get this right.
It's a cube that's 5 foot by 5 foot, so it takes up 1 square.
1 unit. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that makes the most sense. So it's a tiny. It's a
Oh.
short bus.
That makes my turn a lot easier.
But it says on each side, right? So does that mean that there's 2 cubes or 1?
It's 1.
Okay.
So just
It's a 5. Each side of the cube is 5 feet. That's what it's saying. That's where we're. I think we're all reading it wrong. So it's a.
Yeah,
it takes up a 5. It's really stupidly worded, but it takes up a 5 foot square.
Okay.
did they not
enough.
take geometry?
Yeah, it's like you don't need to say that the cube is 5 feet on each side. 5
5
feet.
by 5 cube.
Jesus.
I
Done.
would say wherever it can like hit him, like right in the middle of him, or maybe like in the. I don't want it to hit Jordy, but I want it to hit him. But it can
Yeah.
just
Well,
forward,
so
I
if
don't
Jordy
want
steps up like here, Cleo, he's not going to be affected by that. It's only going to be in that square that the bus is in.
It's not an area effect, really. Like, I mean, it technically, I guess, if 2 creatures were in the same square, yes, but
Yeah, or if
Can I move the cloud?
Or if it's like a choke point.
I think as
people have to do
a
it.
bonus action you can.
Okay.
No.
No, you can't. It's going to stay in that one spot.
That's why I'm like making sure that he's gonna go up and
So
attack him.
on when his no, I hear you because you want him to stay in there.
I'm gonna put it. If I put it in the cube in front of where that
Yeah,
like, the little
that
square is
wouldn't
at
affect
now,
that wouldn't affect Jordy.
I want to put it there.
Okay.
I cast that.
All right. So for the first time you see Cleo cast a cloud of daggers. What do you suppose that looks like, Sunflower?
I picture like those like dark storm clouds, you know, like those really gray ones, like, and then just daggers like spinning
Like a
underneath in a
dagger
cube that just
tornado?
come down. Yeah,
I
and they're
like
just sitting there, ready.
Very intense.
Speaking of ready, Jordy, what would you like to do?
Well, since he's been dealing with a lot of large animals,
Lord.
he's not happy to see another one, so he rages. He's angry. He has to fight another fucking animal.
On the road, nonetheless.
So he's angry. Does the whole thing, throws back his weighted flavor cloak, and you hear the thud. And he moves up to, I'm gonna say right there.
Okay.
And he tries to bonk him.
All right. Read yours.
17.
17 hits.
Gotta take
Jackson
that out
is this
quick.
session's gamer heroine floor.
Oh, and the small smite.
Oh yeah, Baby Smite.
That's your new nickname, Baby Smite.
Well, if it gets to level 10, it won't be as much of a baby. If. And then that.
And
Since
this
this is
your
a
new zealot
yeah,
ability?
since that's the first time it happened, I would think like when he hits it and makes contact, Jordy's like tattoos, they don't necessarily glow, but they get like just a little bit brighter when he makes contact. They kind of like show that flow of power through him into the weapon.
And it's the first time it's happening. Do you think
And
Jordy's
he's,
like
like-
surprised by that? Like,
And for a second, he's like that, but he doesn't really have time to like acknowledge it fully.
yeah.
So he just kind of like, okay.
All right, it is the Yeti's turn. Gosh, what's the Yeti gonna do? Yeti has a lot of options. Okay. First thing the Yeti does is makes 2 attacks against Jordi.
Wait, doesn't he get attacked by my cloud of daggers because
He
he starts
does.
his turn there?
He does. What's my? Do I get a save on this or what?
It just says you take 4d4 slashing
Roll your
damage when
damage.
you start your turn there. Okay.
Probably why it's such a small area.
Eight.
Whew, that's pretty damn good. 8
Finally,
points of
he's got-
damage.
Some kind of damage spell.
Alrighty. Let's see how smart the Yeti is. He's not the dumbest dummy. Okay, just 2 attacks against Jordy. Claw attack. Oh, 18 on the die. That's yeah, it's a 24 to hit.
Let me crunch some numbers. Yeah, I think that hits.
Alright, you take 5 points of slashing damage. Plus 3 points of cold damage.
Alright, so
Icy
is the
form.
slashing halved already?
Slashing was not halved. I gave you the full damage.
Okay, so is that 2 or 3?
It was 2 points of slashing with your DR, and then
And
you
cold.
take the full cold.
So it still ends up taking 5 damage.
Second attack. 14 on the die. That's a 20 to hit.
Yep.
That's same slashing plus 4 cold. So it's 5 slashing plus 4 cold.
Alright, so 11 damage total, I think.
5 was half of that, so it's 2. So 6 total damage from the second attack,
And then
plus 5 from the
first one.
first. So it's 11
Alright.
damage.
So-
It then turns to you, Cleo, knowing that because it is smart enough to know that you cast some magic at it. And that's why it's currently raining daggers on its face. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Can I add add one of my like rolls
Yeah.
to this?
You can add any of those bonuses to any D20.
I'm gonna add one of my 4s to that. So can I just add 6 since my con is 2?
Yep. Taking one of her sub 4s. Oh, he almost had a natural 1 there.
25.
That's a save. Let's see.
I didn't even need that. Nice.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay. And it's also going to move out of this. Oops. It's also going to move away from the bus. Because it's no dum-dum. Kindar, you're up.
All right. So Kindar is going to use an augmentation for the first time. I'm curious because it says when you cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean I do it before I announce the spell, or can I do it after my roll, or after the roll?
It's using some of your mind points.
It's the augmentation. So
It's
I don't know
after you confirm a hit. After you do your magic, you can decide. So you can say, I'm casting the spell. If it hits, then you're augmenting it. That's fine with me.
Okay. So okay, so I'm gonna Kendra's gonna cast Command. So the target has to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Alrighty, command it is. Let's see what we got. 17 on the die. God, I'm rolling rocks today. That is a 18.
That he's saved there. And then now Kindar will do that again. I think now I have to announce it because he's going to cast it again.
Okay, so now you're using your mind point to
use it as a bonus action.
Okay.
To use command as a bonus action. The actual wording, in case you're curious, hasten mind when you cast a spell that has a casting time of 1 action. You can spend 2 mentality points to change the casting time to 1 bonus action for this casting.
Usually,
there's a problem with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually you can't use a bonus action to do anything but cast a cantrip. So, because you can't cast 2 slotted spells in a single turn.
Oh, is that a rule? Okay.
That's an actual 5e rule.
Because
you could cast a cantrip and a full spell as a bonus action, or the opposite way, but you couldn't cast 2 level 1 spell slots in the same turn.
Yeah, I think a sorcerer has a do that as well, and that's so he can't just nuke something with 2 fireballs in a turn and stuff.
Yep.
Sorry if I didn't understand when we were talking this week, Zund, about exactly what you wanted to do with some of this stuff.
Okay. Sorry, I was not prepared for that.
That's all right. Yeah, so that would be you could cast a spell and then use that augmentation to cast any of your cantrips that aren't normally a bonus action as a bonus action. So that's a possibility. You could also just fall down on the ground and die. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just listening. We're just spitballing.
All right, I think Kindar, just kind of noticing how he's moved forward a little bit, getting to where he might come closer. He's going to back up a little bit. See. Kindara is going to move over here.
That I have to scroll down so that people can see that. It was too far away. Okay. All right, Kindar. Gusto, you're up.
I will run up in front of Cleo and take out my crossbow and shoot him with my crossbow.
I just see little fleas bouncing off of him as he's in front of me, and I'm like, ugh, gross.
No, there aren't any more fleas. I got rid of them.
You got rid of them all? Oh, right, you burned them all.
Yeah.
Still grossed out by it, though.
Crossbow. Well, that's a 22 to
I
hit.
tell you what, a 22 hits.
Sweet. Get some damage.
Yeah, you did.
How about 9 points of damage?
I don't like it. I don't like it one little bit.
And I will just kind of stay there in front of Cleo because I saw that Yeti trying to come after her.
Okay. Cleo, it is your turn.
Okay.
Cleo, I'd like you to, before we do anything, I'd like you to make a nature check.
Okay. Oh, no. Sorry. I have a cat on my keyboard.
Cleo, you don't know a whole lot about Yetis. One thing you do know is that they always hunt in twos. And sure enough, rounding the corner, entering the fray, is this Yeti's buddy. You hear the snow crunch behind you, you turn around, you see the second Yeti enter the battle. What would you like to do?
Let's see.
Oh no, Book Fairy said.
She's gonna move back here, like near this rock area, back like here.
All right, and then,
And
as you
then-
move back there, there's another. Just kidding.
Wait, oh my god, are you kidding me?
It's just all start popping out of the snow. It's a whole army, a whole plan.
She is then going to. She's gonna realize maybe she should not have her cloud of daggers out anymore because they're too smart to even stand in their cloud of daggers now. Actually, hold on. Let me think. Hold on. Nope, I can't move it. So there's really no point.
So that's why it's a
in being
little
over there.
different from flame spheres because once you get it out there, you
So-
can't move it.
I'm gonna go. Shit. Okay, I'm not as strong as I thought. So I'm gonna go back, and then I wanna try to. Can I? If I wanted to cast my Mantle of Inspiration, does that take one full turn?
Pretty sure that would be your action.
My action. Sorry, that's what I.
Let's take a look at Mantle of Inspiration, just so I'm good on it. Bards are.
I just don't
always
see any
interesting.
clarifying things. I just assumed.
As a bonus action, you can expend one use of your bardic inspiration to grant yourself a wondrous appearance. When you do so, choose a number of creatures you can see. Yeah, I mean, it's a bonus action and
So I'm
a
gonna do
bardic
that.
inspiration.
Is it concentration?
No, my Cloud of Daggers.
It's not, no.
Okay.
And I think that everybody is within range. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to the Yetis. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Yetis
gonna,
are like keep moving around like crazy. No attacks of opportunity. They come and kill Kindar.
I'm gonna cast that as my bonus action to my friends.
Okay, and don't forget to
Um,
use one of your charges of bardic inspiration.
Mhm. Can that also just? I know that he's just hiding in my hair, but does that also cast onto him as well, to Clyde?
Yeah, Clyde's like super
Even if
ripped
he's hiding,
now.
he's like
Clyde's
at a
doing
6 pack.
curls up on your shoulder. He's like got,
Okay.
got a little tiny dumbbell.
So I'm gonna do that. So that means each person gained, was it 5?
5 temporary
5 temporary
HP.
hit points. And then as my full action, right, because I can still do that.
Yeah.
I did my movement.
Yep.
I did my bonus. I am going to cast Vicious Mockery at the main Yeti where Jordy's at.
Okay.
And yeah.
Tell me what kind of save that
Pulling
is.
it up. Sorry, I'm pulling it up. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go.
Oh, doesn't
Wisdom
matter. It's
saving
a
throw.
natural one. He failed.
Okay, so then 1d4. I just call him a stupid idiot for stepping outside of my daggers.
And now it's disadvantage on his next attack.
I believe so, yes. Disadvantage on next attack roll it makes.
All right. It's a single icicle tear falls from its eye. All right, Jordy, you're up. Nice turn, Sunflower. Good job. Jordy, you're up.
Thank you.
All right, so I don't really plan on moving, but I can not take opportunity attacks with this Mantle of Inspiration.
Yeah, you can. You would have. It's still technically your turn. So, and since we're all still learning, when she casts Mantle of Inspiration, you can immediately use your reaction to move up to your speed without provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay.
So that would have been right then. So if anybody wants to take that move now, and you can move up to your speed wherever you want to move, you can move right now. But it's as soon as it happens as a reaction, you can do it. Yeah. So that's Gusto moves up to engage with that Yeti.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't plan on moving. I was just making sure. But yeah, he's just going to keep wailing away on this Yeti.
Oh, just rolled off of a 20.
20 to hit.
20 hits. I do love the drama of actually watching the virtual dice roll, though, because it's like, it just creaked off of a 20.
So it's 12 bludgeoning again, I think. I think I got the same amount last time.
Yep. And do you get that divine thing again?
The snoot.
All right. There's a chance, Jordy, that you could kill him with this.
Alright. Nope, max smite. Not max. 6. Max is 7.
And in fact, Jordy, you do kill him with this. Describe this killing blow.
The glowing happens again as he like hits it like into the chest and like knocks the wind and all life out of it. And when he does that, he looks down and sees like the very faint, like almost like his tattoos were highlighted, just enough to notice. And he's like, "I like this. I don't know what this is."
He looks up at Gusto like, "Yo, that was cool." Yeah, exactly.
Did you see that?
It was pretty cool.
All right. Any movement here, Jordy?
I guess I will try to start hiking over to this next Yeti.
All right.
There.
That Yeti's dead. This Yeti has exactly enough movement to get right here. It's 2 attacks against Kindar.
Kindar would like to mind spike this.
Wait, can you use your... Oh, never mind. I had a totally different thought. Mine's...
Tell me what Mind Spike is. I have to be reminded.
Sorry. As a reaction to the attack to any friendly creature within 10 feet, does that include me then? I guess.
Yeah.
When a friendly creature
Well,
within 10 feet of me is targeted by an
No,
attack.
it's that would be somebody else. So that's something you've imposed on when somebody was attacking your teammate, but it wouldn't work for you.
Gotcha. And wait, let me see. What's this hellish rebuke? I forgot about what this thing was because this was also a reaction. I guess I have to wait until I'm damaged. So.
Oh, for Hellish Rebuke.
Yep.
Okay, that's going to be a 18 to hit.
And that hits.
You take... God, I'm rolling terrible damage with these guys. 6 points of slashing damage. Plus 1 point of cold damage.
And I have resistance against cold damage.
That means you take 0 points of cold damage.
6 points that I took.
Yes. 6 points of slashing damage. Those boots just seem to like be absorbing some of the shock of the hit that you took. That's his second attack, an 18 on the die. I'm rolling great on the attacks and terrible on the damage. Still bad. 6 points of slashing plus 2 points of cold, so you'll take 1 point of cold damage.
You said 6 and 1?
Yep.
Don't forget you had the temporary hit points.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
And you can just give yourself those hit points, Jordy, if you want. Just normal.
How many points is that?
It was 5 temporary HP.
5.
Um.
All right, so then yes, so Kindar will, as a reaction, use the Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
So in response to being damaged by a creature within 60 feet of you, you can see, you point your finger, and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 3d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful fire damage.
19 on the die, so that's a passed save, so I'll take half of your 3d10. 3d10's fun to roll, though. This will be a fun roll.
Yeah, and that's including, normally that would be a 2d10 on level 1, but since it's being cast
at a level 2. Cool.
It adds 1d10.
Oh, I see. Oh, it got stuck. That was a 10, though.
All right, so 12 to 6.
6 points of damage.
And it's fire, so I don't know if there's...
Let me
would have.
check. Okay. All right. As its final action this turn, the Yeti is going to... the Yeti is going to stare down Cleo again. Cleo, make a Constitution saving throw.
What did I do?
You said my mate was a jerk.
All right, I'm gonna add my other 4
Okay.
onto this. Plus 6. $16.
You're all right. All right. Okay, Kindar,
Glad I added that.
you're
All right. Kindar is going to cast Hallucinate,
Ooh, okay.
which is a cantrip. You choose a creature you can see within range, make them see a sound or image that lasts for the duration. And so I'm just gonna do the ever classic, make him hear kind of like right behind him, maybe a few feet behind him, the sound of his Yeti companion. The target sees the or hears the image. The effect cannot deal damage and cannot occupy a space larger than 5 foot cube. The target must make a charisma save against your spell save DC. And if
Okay.
successful, the target can determine its hallucination.
This Yeti has a terrible charisma. Terrible. And I rolled very poorly, so it is hallucinating.
Oh.
It's tripping balls.
So yeah, so it
It's like, are you guys seeing that?
and,
So you made it sound like a sound, right?
yeah, basically the sound like that we heard of the Yeti initially make towards us, like like whatever
Okay.
we kind of initially heard. He's kind of hearing that same sound, but like kind of from the direction that his front companion was in. And then so right now he's hallucinating, and hopefully Kindar can then take that opportunity to kind of back away from it without getting attacked.
Unfortunately, you leave a target's, even if it's hallucinating, you leave a target's range, and it does take an attack of opportunity.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I take that back then?
Of course, yeah.
And then we'll try it. Well, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use command with the haste in mind, since the other one was a
Okay.
cantrip.
Yep, that's definitely doable.
And so I'm using 2 mentality points to augment this.
And how many do you have per day, Kindar?
I get 3 per long rest.
So this is it.
I still have 1 more.
Didn't you use one for something else?
No, we ended up not doing it.
Oh,
'cause
okay,
it
okay.
wouldn't have, yeah. All right, so he's
So
going to use
wisdom save?
command, and this I believe is a wisdom. Yep.
All right, now it's worst save.
Look at this little kitty cat paw. Jesse's just like stretched up and he's just.
I can
lifted
only
his
see
arm.
his paw. 11?
Yeah, so that hits.
What do you command the Yeti to do?
And just because he's hearing his friend behind him, I'm gonna command him to dance.
Does the Yeti have to understand the command?
Ooh.
Does your target have to understand the language that you're speaking?
It has no effect if it's undead or if it doesn't understand your language.
Yes!
You're like, dance, bitch. And he's like, what?
And he says it in Goblin.
I'll tell you guys after the fight. I'll talk about it on Unconscious and Dying because this is so fun. Okay, Kindar, would you like to do anything else?
I can't. This is
Yeah.
a bonus action and action.
All right, Gusto,
I'm gonna be boring and just shoot it with my crossbow.
crossbow.
Does a 14 hit?
It does. 14 hits.
Nice.
Oh, almost max damage there, Vlor.
But only 4.
It rolled off of the 8.
I will then use all of my movement to get right north of Kindar, right next to the Yeti.
Okay. All right, Cleo, you're up.
Okay. Let's. She's gonna. Sorry, thinking. I don't know if you have any other surprises coming our way. I don't want to back up too far in an unknown direction. She's just gonna back up a little bit, and she's going to cast this mockery again.
Oh, and we're losing you here, Sunflower.
Yeah.
What was the number on
Hello?
this right now?
Uh-oh. Is it
I'm
me or
losing
is it you
Reba too.
guys? Oh, I think it's me.
I think it's everyone.
I think it's
Discord.
Discord.
I'm struggling to hear everybody.
Discord's got very bad ping right now.
Let's disconnect and reconnect. And see.
Bishop's mockery.
Let's check if this is any better. No, it just looks like Discord's just down. It's just, I'm stuck in a connecting loop. All right, I'm going to force close Discord. It's just Discord's fucking right now. I won't this close. Hey, Zune. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm finally reconnected. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You guys hear me? Okay.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Everybody? Sunflower, can you hear me? Uh-oh, I can't hear Sunflower. I can see her talking, though. Zune, can I hear you or no?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear Zune.
Did you mute your mic?
That was weird. Discord had the instead of voice connector, it said something I've never seen before.
Sunflower, maybe leave and come back.
Jordy rolls to grapple Discord with advantage because he's raging.
Yeah, nobody can hear Sunflower. All right, let's try this. Sun, can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh, I'll take 9.
Absent chat. All right, Sunflower, why don't you tell us what you're doing? Just type out what you're going to do in this turn, and then you can spend the next round trying to fix your mic, since it's your. Zune is. Zune is going to go help.
Tactical Zune master.
Okay, Vicious Mockery at the Yeti. That is a. It's a Wisdom save.
I think so.
Let's see, I can't remember. Yeah, Wisdom save. Okay.
Cleo has put on a new disguise as her turn.
Oh, wow, that's very convincing.
Like Kendar.
I
She used the
saved
disguise kit.
a 16 on the die, so that'll be a 17. So I saved on the Vicious Mockery.
Well, shit.
That's a pretty good use of the disguise kit.
That's so weird that happened.
Maybe try to unplug it and plug it back in. That worked before.
Maybe. That was weird. Little messages that I have never seen before, like RTC something.
Check.
Hello?
Oh, yep.
Hello.
We got you.
Yeah.
Here.
Hey.
Anything
Hello.
else, Sunflower? Vicious Mockery failed. He saved on the Wisdom throw. Would you like to do anything else?
Ooh, all right, Savior. Thank you.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah?
Okay. Your Vicious Mockery failed. What else would you like to do?
Oh, no. That's... I moved. I tried my Vicious Mockery. That's it.
That's it. Alrighty. All right, Jordy, you're up.
Alright, going to stick to what Jordy does best and try to hit him with his maul again. Well, actually, first time for this one. Uh, 18 to
Yes,
hit.
sir. That'll do it. I don't think anybody's actually missed. I don't think anybody's missed the Yeti yet on a physical attack.
14 bludgeoning.
Come on.
Rolling for the small smite.
Wow.
7 max smite damage.
Wow. Alrighty. It's the Yeti's turn. The Yeti's going to make 2 attacks against you, Jordy, because you just stepped up to him and started hurting him.
I understand.
You're like, I get it. First attack misses. 13 doesn't hit you, I presume.
Nope.
Second attack also misses. Another natural 7. It's then going to... you know what, Gusto? You know, just for fun, make a con save.
Oh, I like those.
You rolled some pretty poor con saves here recently, so I'm just praying that I can get one of these to happen. Oh, I knew you'd come through for me, buddy.
You know what? That's a 7.
I knew you'd come through for me. Yeah, the Yeti hits you with this ability called Chilling Gaze. Chilling Gaze. The Yeti targets one creature it can see within 30 feet. The target can see the Yeti. The target must succeed on a DC. Well, you don't worry about it. Con save against this magic, or take 21 points of cold damage, and you are frozen in place, paralyzed for 1 minute. You can repeat that saving throw at the end of your turn.
Don't
Okay.
forget those temporary hit points too.
Yeah, I took those off the top.
Alrighty, Kindar, you are up. Mainly hit somebody with. That's what I've been trying to hit you with, Sunflower.
Get outta here.
Chilling gaze.
I was ready
Fine,
for
I
some
did it.
whatever bullshit you had coming towards me.
All I can say is better me than Kindar.
Yeah. Well, he had the cold resistance though, so he wouldn't have taken all of that. Them boots.
So Kindar will. Okay, so we I forgot what we had said about this. So psychokinesis, which is a cantrip. It says the casting time is 1 bonus action.
Mhm.
And that was the one where I can like throw a rock at someone with my mind.
Yeah,
So did we
Yeah.
determine that's okay as a bonus action?
that's okay.
So Kindar will look around and see if he sees any like rocks or anything.
Yeah, I think you
Better.
had like a small baggie of them. You have your rock. You're like, you got any rock?
Oh, a rock stash.
Check out these cool rocks, guys. Kiddo's a total
It's a
nerd.
weird guy who's picking up rocks everywhere we go.
Yeah,
like,
he wants to
"Ooh,
show
this is big
everybody."
enough." This one will do. This one will knock someone's eye out
Oh,
as
this
well.
one's So, do you think this is a cool rock, Jordy? Is this cool?
You sound like me in real life looking at
That's true.
that's literally hiking with me in real life.
Oh, check out this cool rock.
I literally come back with pockets of rock.
All right, channeling Sunflower.
Yeah, so Kindar will take a rock out of his stash and put it, kind of stabilize it right in front of him with his mind, and then shoot it at the Yeti.
Just out of
Um,
impossible speed.
and
Speeds
which
of
is-
the Yeti.
It's a ranged spell attack.
All right, go ahead and make it happen.
Is there a way to do spell attack through the? Is that just doing my spellcasting ability then? Through like the our character, like our the software.
Think
I'm
so.
not sure. Try it.
Let's just see, because it should be +5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should. Yeah,
Yeah. Modifier plus proficiency.
that's an 18.
18 hits.
All right, so the Yeti will then take, I think it's 1d4 bludgeoning damage.
And that's why I think this is okay to just have this as a bonus action, because this is just like a little ping, you know?
And I do not have this in my I didn't set the damage up in that thing, so I have to do that naturally. 2.
All right, 2 points of damage.
And then
Oh, on the character sheet there should be a little D4 below the.
oh, that's true. Yeah,
Skill
good
checks.
call. Yeah, so then Kindar, knowing that this thing doesn't speak common or no, doesn't speak goblin, will you know what? Let's try this spell out. It's a new one for him. He's excited about his new powers.
Okay.
He's gonna cast a witch bolt,
Oh, okay.
which is concentration. And let's see, it's a ranged spell attack. So same thing I did, right?
Yep. Pretty good bonus here for Kindar on this.
And that's a 21.
That hits.
And so on a hit, the target takes 1d12 lightning damage. So a beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards the creature. So I picture Kindar probably like, you know, one hand on his chest where he keeps his stone, and then you know, the other one is kind of shooting out in front of
Or
him.
you
and
can almost like see
it's-
it going from his mind to his
to his
open
hand and then
palm.
right into
Yeah.
him. Yep. Well, and I almost picture like a little ball coming out first, and then coming out of that little ball is the lightning shooting at the Yeti.
Awesome. It's like
Um,
half of a sphere growing out of his hand and then
Right. And so with that, the target takes 1d12 lightning damage, and will on each of my turns subsequently. It's just an action.
It almost rolled to minimum damage. It was
That's
so
a
close.
5.
Okay, 5 points of damage, and he'll take that on every one of your turns or his turns.
If I choose as an action, it's so this is a concentration. So right now I kind of have like a lightning link with him. I almost see, and like and then on each turn, as long as I use my action to do the damage from this attack, then it will continue. Then I can keep the link to a minute.
Okay. We're going to keep that roll. I'm not going to make you re-roll that. But for future reference, check out what Vlor just typed in the chat, because that's going to apply to Kindar, I would say, like, pretty frequently in these melee situations. Is that your turn then, Kindar? Anything else?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading that. And that would be...
All right. Gusto, you are frozen in place and immobilized. You can take purely mental actions.
I'm going to think about how I got into this situation.
All right, you can make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 13?
13 DC 13.
Ooh.
You begin to thaw out. You'll be able to take your turn, but not until next time. Right now, it's Cleo's turn.
Okay. First and foremost, she's gonna use her vicious mockery.
Alrighty.
Against this guy.
Fail.
Great. And then
I failed. Your vicious mockery was
I think
successful.
I failed. I was like, fuck.
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay, cool. That's 1d4.
Oh yeah, let me show you and chat the... There's got to be a handout for this bad boy. Yeah.
1. Takes 1 damage from my mean words.
Okay, and he'll have disadvantage on his next attack. That's what he looks like, by the way, everybody.
I call him ugly.
Again, a single icicle tear.
And then trying to think if I want to cast another Mantle Inspiration thing to give you guys more hit points, but I don't know if this guy's almost dead yet.
Georgie still has 5 of his.
You're still good. I know that Kindar and Goose. You know what? I'm gonna end my turn. That's it. That's it. A stay. Me and Clyde hanging out.
Just checking to make sure that Mantle of Inspiration wasn't a once per long rest thing. I don't think it is. Okay, Jordy, you're up.
I'm gonna just stick with a regular attack. I was debating over recklessly, but I don't think it's worth the risk. So just regular old whack.
Oh, sir.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't do it.
What did you just roll, Jackson?
That would be a natural 20.
Natural 20? That means
Ooh.
you're going to have to confirm your critical hit.
Of course, it's going to be like after he took like most of the damage. 22.
22 confirms a crit. What type of damage does your weapon do?
Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning damage. This is called Breathless. Double damage, and target is exhausted for 1d4 rounds. Usually we'd play that like at a disadvantage, but I have a feeling double damage is gonna be the last that we see of
End of
this
him.
fine gentleman. So let's take a look at that damage before we get too deeply into the mechanics of what this crit does.
It's 11 on the first one. It's 15 on the second one.
He's dead. He's dead.
and he glows a little bit from the smite.
He's dead.
Does the extra 6 on the second one matter?
What do you mean?
Because you don't get the modifier on the second one.
For the double damage?
Yeah.
We've been playing it that way.
Supposed to be just the dice.
We played it on Phandalin that way. In Phandelver that way. Double damage is just rolling your same damage roll twice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be just the dice roll.
Not your modifier?
No, modifier gets added once, but the dice get doubled.
Well, it happened. It died.
Well, at least it died thinking its companion was still alive.
Yeah. I still haven't, and I'll have to come up with something because I still haven't quite figured out how to use hallucinate in battle. It's just like a really tough decision to make because it is a cantrip. It was successful, but it doesn't really lay out what it's supposed to do. Like, yeah, it's hallucinating and it thinks it's real, but does it just stop attacking in the middle of combat? You know, like that's a hard decision to make.
I feel like it's almost a DM choice at that point where it's like you get to roleplay out what you think, like how you think that character would react.
Actually, I don't think it ever made it back around to him while he was hallucinating.
It was about to be his.
I was gonna use one of his attacks to like waste it basically to turn and see if his buddy was alive, and then he would see that it wasn't, and then he was gonna continue to attack. So I don't know. I think you're right though, Zune. We could just kind of play it however.
Situational.
Yeah, for sure. But well done. Two Yetis dead. Congratulations.
Leo immediately loots. They have anything on them?
Yeah, they have a bunch of intestines and viscera. You could saw off one of their horns if you wanted.
Yeah, would Yeti horns be worth something? Like, would Kindar know maybe about like the value of what a Yeti?
Yeah,
horn
apparently, if you grind them up and put them in a tea, they give you a boner.
That's what I was thinking.
Just grabbing her horns, like, ouch! Like, and looking at Kindar's horns, like, come on, dude.
I'd ask Jordy. Hey, Jordy, what do Yeti pelts fetch?
Guessing I'd have to make a roll for that.
Sure. Why don't you? I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely don't.
What's
know.
the roll on this floor? What do you think? I wish there was just a knowledge local. Go ahead and roll a knowledge local in Pathfinder First Edition, Jackson.
History.
Yeah, history. History was my first thought.
Insight.
History?
Give me a history check.
I'm pretty sure history and insight are the same.
Yo, what's going on, Dubs?
Dubsy. 12.
Yeah, maybe if it was if you had a tanner here, you could take some time to skin the Yetis, and you'd have to tan the hide to make it worthwhile, worth something. You can't just take like a bloody pelt up and sell it, probably. But maybe if you had somebody who was proficient in skinning animals and tanning leather, you might be able to get 25 gold pieces per.
So not much unless one of you are a leather worker.
Yeah, I know we got our smithy guy friend, but I didn't know if he'd be able to do anything with these.
I think you'd have to treat it right away, or if it tends to rot.
Oh well.
You guys ever see Into the Wild?
Mm-hmm.
When he kills that moose, and it's like 10 minutes later, it's covered with black flies. That's what it's like in Icewind Dale. All right, well done. Well, that was
fun.
I'd have thrown a little fun fight there. I gotta keep it interesting for me. You make yourself, you make your way up to Goodmead the rest of the way without any incidents on the road, which is good because everybody just blew their load in that fight. Like, holy shit, nobody's got a spell left except for Gusto, who's like, Shoot the crossbow at him. So one of us should have some spells left over by the time
I
we
have
make
5
it.
spell slots left.
I have a decent. Now
Okay.
that we're level 2, or now that we're level 3, I have a decent amount.
I didn't mean to offend everybody.
Yeah, God.
I made sure to. I saved all my slots for healing just in case.
And do you bust out any healing here before we make it into town, or?
Nope. Why would I do that?
Who knows?
It's only frozen alive. Fine.
You make your way into Goodmead, and you can immediately, as soon as you enter in the town, you hear a ruckus.
Oh, that's why.
You're like, oh, did I say no heals? I meant full heals to everybody, and we also took a long rest. It sounds like it's coming from the Mead Hall, or at very least the center of town.
Run to the town. Is that what we should do?
Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on here.
What's happening over there?
All right, so
Go
you
for it,
run
Jessica.
reckless abandon, throwing your armor and weapons to the ground as you go. I'm just trying to get a clear picture of what's happening.
Clyde's just hanging on to my curls in the back.
He's just hanging on with 2 hands as you're running. Oh, that's amazing. And I have commissioned Gamer Heroine to for the drawing that we've discussed, so it's in the works.
That just made my day.
We're gonna have it.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so as you guys, I imagine like from here, you kind of run down this pathway, making your way towards the Mead Hall. And as you get about here-ish, you hear like a cheer erupting. And as you round the corner, you see pretty far off at this point, like up around here, you see like people running away. And in front of the Mead Hall, you see of a dwarf that you guys have seen before. It's none other than Shandar Froth. And he is standing triumphantly with a weapon in his hand. Among his other lumberjack friends, the loggers that he lives with. And they're all like shaking their weapons at the people who are running away. And there's like some townspeople, there's some people in the Mead Hall that are cheering. And as you guys are getting closer, and you're like, what's going on here? Like, what the hell happened? You see that there's some people on the ground. Some of them look to be injured and bleeding. And Jordy, as you're surveying the scene, Shandar's like screaming and cheering, and his lumberjack buddies are cheering, and you can see the last of the people fade off into the distance that are running away, and the rest of the townspeople are sort of in a half cheer, but also some of them are starting to tend to the wounded. You spot the bloodied body of Olivessa in front of the Mead Hall, and that's where we'll leave off tonight's session. Can you believe we've already played for almost 2 hours? Thank you guys very much. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks for the continuation of Rime of the Frostmaiden. Everybody have an awesome night.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye.